Thanks for joining us here on ARC Salt Lake. I'm Brian Schneid. It's Monday, February 2nd. Tonight we're taking a look at a large-scale partnership in southern Utah. So discussions are underway for a major economic development project in the southwestern portion of the state, specifically in and around Ivins. The Shivwits Band of Paiutes and Black Desert are exploring the possibilities of a big-time development focused on cultural stewardship, sustainability, and ultimately providing housing, jobs, and opportunity. Earlier today, I spoke with Patrick Manning, managing partner of Black Desert Resort, and Shenandoah Anderson, chair of the Shivwits Band of Paiutes Board of Directors. Shannon is an approved spokesperson for the Shivwits Band.
It is an economic development for our people that will open up a lot of jobs in a variety of areas. We have a lot of people that go to college and they have these degrees, but they have no place to use them. And it's kind of hard to get a job on the outside as well as the inside. And we don't have a lot of jobs currently on our reservation. So it will bring economic development to our people, as well as keeping them on the reservation and keeping them closer to home where they feel more comfortable instead of going out in the world, the scary world. So it just keeps them close to home.
How long has this been in the works?
About 18 months. It's a slow process. We've met with our community throughout the process. We've sent emails. We've actually toured the Black Desert with our community for the ones that wanted to attend, just to see what it's like over here, because if we do one on our reservation, that it just kind of shows them a little bit. So it's been an ongoing process. It's slow. Nothing's going to happen overnight, but we've just to ensure that our band members were included from day one.
Patrick, where are you in the development phase of this? Where are things at, and what will the end result do? What will it look like for people?
Maybe you tell me. We haven't quite figured it out yet, but we're in pre-development phase. And so there's been a lot of discussion between Black Desert and the band on the possibilities of what might be built out there that has the lowest impact on the land, but a high return for economic opportunities. And but we are talking about additional Black Desert golf courses on the land. We're talking about a fairly decently sized sports complex with different, baseball, softball, soccer, and different sports. And this economic growth for the Shivwits Band will not just provide jobs, but also we will bring the infrastructure to the land necessary so that they can, if they so desire, build more housing, which has been a request of the band members. So this would provide more housing and then more jobs. And like Shannon said, additional scholarships and also healthcare. And just things that the band members have stated to their council that they really desire to have brought to the reservation. Prior to getting started, we have to do cultural surveys to make sure that we're not, disturbing anything that shouldn't be disturbed, which I think they've pretty much already determined that that's the case, because they set this land aside over a decade ago, earmarked as potential economic development property. But we have environmental studies we're going to do. And so, those could take 6 months to a year. In the meantime, we'll probably be continuing on with the design. Right now, nothing is really set on exactly what will go exactly where. So that's still something we're working together on.
How big is this? How big of a deal is this to what's happening on the land and the reservation and the people and everyone that calls it home or wants to visit this area?
I think it's a great opportunity. It will open up so many doors. It will bring in funding for a lot of areas that we're lacking. We are lacking homes. We are lacking facilities to help our elders, to help those that need healthcare, diabetes. We have so many different areas where hopefully one day we can bring that to our reservation and build those those infrastructures so that they don't have to go off, that everything is on the reservation. So we're building a future where we're self-sustainable, that we have all of this infrastructure and we can bring more people to our home, because by opening up this project, it will open up job opportunities for our youth and for our adults and for our elders. And so these jobs, they'll need a place to stay. So hopefully we can bring them home, because I know a lot of people have to venture out because they have a degree in an area where there's nothing available in our local town. So they have to go out into different states to find jobs. And so we're hoping that with all of the extra jobs out here, it'll bring them pride that we have something that we can call our own, that we are making a difference with our youth, and we're looking at the future of our youth. And so by expanding and bringing job opportunities to us, that we're hoping that brings the pride of, I guess, their futures of what they want to build in each of the degrees that they have.
What is it like for you to go visit Black Desert and just also walk around there, see what has been created from the ground up, and then also realizing this could be what part of the project looks like for you?
Yeah, I think for this project, economic development, that it's not really destroying the land and replacing it with buildings, because we don't want to see buildings on a reservation, 3-story buildings here, and just like a whole new community of just buildings. The golf course, coming out here and looking at the golf course, it just shows that it's more in touch with the natural state of the land without bringing concrete into it, because anytime we can preserve any number of trees, any number of rocks without removing anything, and we just build around our areas of importance to bring in the grass and the different natural environment. I think it's a plus for us, and it's a big project, so there'll be so many opportunities for jobs in any of those fields. I'm proud to be from the Shivwits Band of Paiutes. And so anytime we bring in an economic development that will help our youth and to help our future, and in an economic growth where we're not dependent on the government, and that we are a sovereign nation, and we're a strong sovereign nation, and that by bringing in businesses that we're helping our people grow. And we still hold on to our culture. We still hold on to the land that we have, but we want to ensure that anytime we build on land, that it's taken care of.
Shannon, just to piggyback off of that, because you make a good point, when was the last time you were able to do something that was a large scale development project that allowed you guys to find those financial means? And what is the process like to get that going on reservation land or on your lands? How difficult can that process be?
When it comes to the leasing, you have to go through BIA, and then it has to be there's like a long process, a lot of red tape. And so that process, when we look into signing on with somebody, we have to research all of that. We have to get with our lawyers. We have to make sure that everything is that if we do bring in a business, that everything is done to protect our sovereign rights, because we don't want to do something that will hurt us in the long run. So there's a lot of investigation. It's just not say, well, let's bring in a soccer field. You have to bring in all of the parties to talk about what may entail in a soccer field or a convenience store. And so we look at everything like mainly to protect the land and make sure that that land, if we find anything on it, that it's taken care of. But once it's built, that it brings in economic growth to our community, whether we give people bonuses or we just we build our infrastructure that's on our reservation that we need. That's what we're looking for. Housing is one thing in an area that we need, because there's a lot of people that you know how rent is outside. It's crazy. And so we have a lot of families that all live together under one roof, and they should be able to have their own home to be with their own family. And that's kind of hard right now, but by having a project such as this one, it will help us economically to build our own houses and to help our people in every area. And not only that, but for our youth, because we want our youth to succeed. And what better way is to have scholarships that will help them
Sean,
to
what are you doing,
succeed.
bud? Well, if you want to learn more about the project, the discussions, or the timeline of events, you can head over to ShibwitzProjectFAQ.org. There you can learn about the decision-making process, the importance of cultural and land stewardship, water rights, and sustainability. Coming up on ARC Salt Lake, an exclusive conversation with a man who was wrongfully placed into expedited removal by Immigration and Customs Enforcement. A 21-year-old Colombian man wrongfully placed in expedited removal by federal immigration officers. Now sharing his story, Kevin Ortiz Barros was detained 12 days ago inside of the immigration courthouse. He has special immigration juvenile status, meaning he is in line for his green card, did not qualify for expedited removal. Liv Kelleher reports.
Kevin Ortiz Barros says he walked into his immigration court hearing expected to continue following the legal process and walked out in handcuffs.
Tengo mi petición, y yo intento hacer las cosas bien.
What followed, he says, was days of no sleep, no answers, and fear.
It's very, very sad, and my God, it's inhuman.
After his arrest, Kevin says he was moved from place to place without explanation.
For how many days were you being moved around from place to place?
Oh God, it's like 5 days, move for here, for there. But in one day, I go probably 5 or 6 different states.
He says he still doesn't know what states or facilities he was in and says he was given no information on the status of his case.
I say, sir, excuse me, where are you going? I mean, where and why? He say, don't worry, no necesitas saber nada.
He described sleeping on the floor next to toilets in between a series of disorienting flights. He said he met others in detention who, like him, claim no criminal record, some there for weeks or even months.
Tienen hijos, trabajos, familia, y los tratan como criminales, pero no son criminales.
After a federal judge ordered his release, he was released in San Diego near the Mexico border.
Estaba muy asustado.
He says he thought he would be forced back across the border until he learned that he had won his case. His girlfriend traveled to San Diego and helped bring Kevin back to Utah. Kevin says his only regret is not going into that immigration hearing with his attorney. He says his plan is to stay in Utah, continue following the legal process, await his green card appointment, and continue to be, quote, a contributing member of society. Reporting in West Valley City, Liv Kelleher, KUTV 2 News.
Well, you could see some weeknight delays on I-15 in Davis County. For the next few days, UDOT crews will be doing night work on a pedestrian bridge near Gulver Lane and Park Lane, that is in Farmington. North and southbound lanes in this area will be reduced to 1 lane. The good news, all lanes should be reopened by 7 a.m. every day. The lane reduction begins tonight, 9 o'clock. It will continue until Saturday. Got to fix the roads, especially while there's no snow on them. Right, Sean? Right, Sean? Meteorologist Sean Kelly is here. And you were teasing this last week, by the way.
Yeah.
I know it's not on like your big 3 behind you,
Yeah.
but you were teasing the possibility of something headed our way in about a week. Is that right?
That's right. Right on the money. It's now officially in the 7-day forecast, too. So now we can start to maybe get a little bit more excited about it. We still want to temper expectations for right now. We want to get more close into that 4 to 5 day range for us to get a little bit more excited. But I am liking what I'm seeing here in the longer range. Temperatures, though, out ahead of it, 10 to 15 degrees above normal. We've got valley inversions. We've got hazy skies here in the forecast. You can see that displayed on the air quality. Will likely stay in the moderate category and continue to get worse before we get better. But this has been just such a lackluster year for snow here in the Salt Lake Valley. I've only seen 1/10 of an inch of snow, a trace during the month of January. Look at this. Nearly every state in the southeast picked up more snow than us. Memphis, Tennessee, over 3 inches. Greenville, South Carolina, there 5.5 inches over the weekend. Saturday, Charlotte saw over 1 foot of snow. So everyone's getting the snow but us. But again, we're counting down the days, 7 days away. Next Monday, February 9th, where we can start to see maybe a little bit more active of a weather pattern. Boy, it was a mild today. Temperatures into the 50s. Now still plenty mild into the lower 40s here this evening. 43 in Delta, 40 in Milford, 44 in Cedar City, 63 in the St. George area. Dealing with clear skies up and down the I-15 corridor. We'll be dealing with plenty of sunshine tomorrow as well. High pressure system will really make sure of that here in the days ahead, strengthening our inversion, giving us quiet weather all the way up through the weekend, quiet and mild. But here's an early look at that storm as we make our way into early next week. Right now, even showing some snow reaching the valley floors. A lot's going to change here in terms of the timing, the intensity, how cold, how mild it is, how much snow, how impactful for the state. But just know that all the models are showing something next Monday to Tuesday in that time frame, and then perhaps even active beyond that. So this is likely the pattern change that we need to see something getting going here and helping our snowpack, because We needed something to change out towards the east, and that is looking likely here. So drier conditions for them, wetter conditions here for much of the western third of the nation. So flipping the script here to what we've been dealing with for the start of this winter. So we're into the 30s and 20s as we head into the overnight. Highs tomorrow into the 50s here with plenty of sunshine. St. George, you're looking at temperatures here nearing 70 degrees for Wednesday and Thursday. Mild weather all the way through and into the weekend. It is looking quite warm and beautiful for you. And then across the Wasatch Front, we've got temperatures into the 50s each and every day. Hazy sunshine as well. Very mild for the weekend. And then there's that storm about a week away next Monday. Could be a multi-day storm as well. So watch out for that. Notice, though, the big drop in the temperatures as well. I think we can say at this point, maybe hopefully, that's when our true winter starts to begin and we start to see some snow up into the mountains.
Well, we'll see. We're going to temper those expectations, right, Sean? Coming up on ARC Salt Lake, the big boy locomotive back in Utah when you can see the world's largest operating steam locomotive.
The Super Bowl of Caring. Brought to you by America First Credit Union, Smith's, Check City, Ford, Balance of Nature, and Rocky Mountain Power.
You can help end child hunger in Utah with our Super Bowl of Caring. Scan the QR code on your screen. Go to KUTV.com/donate for more information on how to get involved. Just $10 can help feed a child for a weekend. We are right back. It's back. Union Pacific's Big Boy locomotive returning to Utah to celebrate America's 250th birthday. Big Boy will make its stop in Ogden April 18th. The train peeps, the locomotive, sorry, they will go nuts.
Yeah, the world's largest operating steam locomotive will also be joined by 2 commemorative locomotives. One of those includes America 250, which pays tribute to the signing of the Declaration of Independence. After its visit to Utah, Big Boy will travel to the East Coast for the first time.
Get moving, Big Boy. That's pretty cool. You know, people love Big Boy. They also love this guy and everyone else with him.
Yeah.
Post Malone will wrap up part 2 of his stadium tour in Salt Lake this summer. It includes 25 shows. He'll run from April to July. Last concert will take place July 28th at Rice Eccles. Remember, he started his tour at Rice Eccles. Now he's doing the other way around. He's got country singer Carter Faith with him, with Jelly Roll also on stage.
Saving the best for last. The first part of the tour was attended by more than 1 million fans, so we're going to top that.
Yeah. What up, Spanish Fork? We saw you last night on the Hat. See you tomorrow night.